would expect that the first round of policy changes would go into effect in 2015, but we know that there will be grandfathering on a couple fronts. One, for individual kids. So we don't want individual kids who are already in a school to have their experience disrupted. So our expectation is, at the very least, any kid who was enrolled in a school through whatever the previous policies were would be able to stay at that school through the end of that, elementary or middle or high. And then similarly, in terms of feeder patterns, if we end up with a system where some feeder patterns have changed, we would want kids to have a runway on that. So we would not expect anyone who is in the 5th grade in 2015-16, for example, to have to go to a different school than they were expecting at that point. That's not enough time for families to plan and be able to think ahead. Exactly where we draw those lines is what we're going to have to figure out. We also know that some of our policies will take some time to put into effect. So there may be some new thing, like I talked a little bit on the show about the idea, for example, of application middle school. That's something that we would need to figure out when the timing for that would be so that we could build that into the rest of the process. So some of the policies themselves would be phased in, is our expectation.